I chose this topic when I started thinking about the women in my family, in particular my mother and my grandmother, and others from different countries. Although I try to understand the different historical and cultural context, I realized they did not have the same freedom than me. Many of them could not study, work, drive, empower themselves, and marry who they really loved. They have continuously experienced in silence the subordination that men. I retrace the political, social, and cultural achievements of women, especially the Western ones, during the 20th century. I retraced battles for the right to vote, to ensure access to culture, for greater recognition in the workplace, and for the protection of working mother. I discovered that a lot of things have been done in the last 70 years. In particular, in 1946, in Italy was introduced the universal suffrage. In 1970 was introduced the divorce, subsequently confirmed by referendum in 1974. In the same period was approved the use of contraceptive. In 1978 passed the bill that allows women to terminate the pregnancy within the 3 months. In parallel, I notice there are still too many stereotypes and prejudices in our culture, which women are victims. The evolution of film adaptation of Walt Disney is positive. In many fairy tales, we can notice a significant change in the princess role. From Snow White, Cinderella, Mermaid to Pocahontas, the heroines who appear in the 20th century could not be determined, far from the classic one waiting for their Princess Charming. They are the real star. Everyone will decide for her future alone. Looking at the mass media, especially in advertising messages for girls and women, the situation changes. We all know that mass communication is a system able to send message to everyone. Before mass media developed at global level, family and school were the first and only communication agencies for children. Nowadays, children grow and develop their ideas and personalities with this new type of socialization. It is possible to notice how much difference there is between girls and boys teleshopping. Toys for girls hide a deep meaning. Dolls, little kitchen, baby carriages, sewing machines represent their future role as mother and housewives. Music used into advertising are different too. Music used for boys seem to be more strong. On the contrary, music used for girls seem to be mellow, surrounded by clear and delicate. The situation of women in advertising does not change. On one end, they represent the very good housewives dedicated to domestic tasks, taking care for their family. On the other hand, we found their sexuality in the center of attention. Women in advertising is called off as a person. Their bodies are used by who make it. In the way, we go from women as a subject to women as an object. Usually, it is about super women, those perfect ones, with no pimples, stretch marks, or cellulitis. They look like angels. Usually, beauty and perfection become for who watch them a goal to reach as soon as possible. Women do not feel comfortable with their body. They feel themselves unsuitable and unsure. This is the cause of the most eating disorders among young girls. So, that is how, in this context, we can underline the strong gender discrimination. Men are represented actively, whereas women are disadvantaged in a passive role in which men take decisions. Although there are strong stereotypes, the 20th century history is full of great women in every area. Those who particularly hit me are Malala, Manal, Balkissa, and Franklin. The choice is not accidental. Franklin was the woman who, thanks to her photography 51, discovered the structure of DNA. Malala plays a key role for women of her country for access to culture. Balkissa fights for the right to education and forced marriage. Manal just wanted to drive a car. It has been recently reported the opportunity to drive in Saudi Arabia, so finally they have achieved this freedom. My last comments concern all those women who, according to me, are engine for the world progress. They stay-at-home moms and their invisible work. Housewives are not frustrated women that mopping around the house with curlies and wearing petticoats all day. There are people who taking care for their families, making a social service that has no parallel. If women carry out this mission with passion, they will be able to prevent adolescence problem, disintegration, and loneliness. Lack of reference points cause among young people drugs, alcohol problems, and different forms of bullying. It is important to underline the difference that can make a woman in her family. I wish every woman will live their life with passion, curiosity, and generosity. We have to remember we have right to be happy, to explore, to travel, to love, build a family. I wish us a world in which gender will not determine our dreams or goals we can reach. I wish us a world in which every single woman will be able to say, I'm free to choose.